shut down some of this stuff. Good evening, everybody. Come on in and like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
We still on both?
You what?
We still on both, Rumble and YouTube?
No,
What are we on?
we're on YouTube.
Oh, you're not simultaneous on...
No, because I don't trust it. Good evening, Texas bikers. Bikers around the nation and the world. This is Texas Biker Radio, number 482. My name is Mel Popeye Moss.
OG.
Just OG.
And we are not on Rumble tonight.
We are not on Rumble tonight. We are recording and it will be uploaded later.
Popeye has trust issues.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get it solved this week. Getting the simulcast back going, but it is what it is for right now. And OG, what a damn week, month it's been.
It's been horrible since the election results.
Yeah, it has.
That's all I can say.
It has. But let me say, let me get some stuff out here. Our ride for justice on October 3rd. We have got our ad in the Cameron Herald scheduled, and it'll be posted next week. That ought to be interesting, OG.
Yeah.
It really should. And I started contacting the media down there, and so I'm going to do about one a day all the way up to the event. And I'll keep contacting these people and letting them know we're coming and what we're going to be doing. Seeking justice for a 24-year combat veteran who's accused of criminal carry, and he was not criminal carrying per Texas law. Anything you want to add to that?
Just goes to show the Good Old Boy Network is still in place
Good old boy
in
network.
Milam County.
It is a good old boy network, and they exist all over Texas. They exist all across this country, and yeah.
And the state trooper involved just doesn't have that many brain cells to comprehend what the law says.
Hey, and also the prosecutor who is colluding with the judge to give Patrick the ride. That's what you call it, the ride that you're going to get through the courts. Just saying, everybody. Just saying. So the Potato Head on our poll, a poll we have up at Sons of Liberty Riders MC. So leading in the poll is that he's gonna forget where he's at, but he's gonna follow the script that's written for him. Now, second in the poll is what was second in the poll?
Victory, taking a victory lap for Afghanistan.
Yeah, taking a victory lap over Afghanistan. That is really, really likely. I mean, look what else they're trying to do. They're trying to take credit take credit for getting people across the border when they've had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it, everybody. Matter of fact is, we're going to show you a video clip right now about just that. So here we go, everybody. I'm going to switch the cube, and we're going to turn our mics off.
Hello, this is an amazing story. I mean, it's just outrageous. How angry, how mad are you that after everything that you and that organization, that nonprofit went through, you have the State Department trying to take credit for it?
You know, I would like to say I was surprised, but I wasn't. Along the way, we had multiple ambassadors that we spoke to that had told us when we were trying to arrange what we call rat lines, because with these same people we tried to get out to Hakaya and we couldn't get the State Department to open the gate. We tried on the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th multiple times, and when they said that anybody that wanted to leave could leave, that's not true, because you had to go through 3 Taliban checkpoints, and each one of them would charge between $500 to $1,000 a person to cross those checkpoints. So that's why the other countries was going out and getting their citizens and bringing them back, but not the United States. But at the orders from either Secretary Blinken or President Biden. And so when we started trying to find other places to take them out of through other countries and set up rat lines, which we have been successful doing. We have right now 23 other U.S. citizens, AMSETs, in safe houses in different locations outside of Kabul that are waiting to get out too. When we started trying to find and work with embassies around there, they told us, they said, Mr. Mullen or Rep Mullen, we have been instructed not to assist you in any way. Now, this is embassies telling me that Washington, D.C. told them not to assist us in any way. And it's a bold-faced lie when they're out there saying that this was a successful evacuation, this was a successful mission, when, Rachel, the truth is, I wouldn't be there if it was successful, and other organizations wouldn't be there, and the Sentinel Foundation wouldn't be there if it was successful. And then when we worked for literally 48 almost around-the-clock hours trying to negotiate with the Taliban to release Miriam to be able to come across the bridge, and then Blinken puts out a statement that says that the Taliban was helpful and released them. I will tell you, at 3 o'clock yesterday morning, Central Standard Time, at 3 o'clock yesterday morning, they had threatened to kill her because I was on the phone with her, and they had threatened to kill her if she approached the checkpoint again.
Right.
And that doesn't sound like they're working with us.
No.
But Blinken, he goes out there and wants to take credit for it. And it infuriates me because they continue to lie to the American people.
I'm sure you've had some time to think about this entire ordeal, and you have to wonder, and I'm sure you have, and tell me what you think the answer is. Why would the State Department stand in the way of you helping when they didn't do it?
You know, my personal opinion is they're trying to squash this story. They want this bad news to go away as soon as possible. And I truly believe that their way to do that is just not allow it to be a story anymore.
Right.
And why else would they not allow American citizens? You know, a while ago you talked about the airplane sitting in Measure Sharif Mez and the State Department not giving them clearance to land. Well, we've been working on several of those planes. In fact, Miriam was on one of those planes before we pulled her off. And what we had suggested to the State Department, I made this suggestion. I called them and said, why don't we let one plane leave that only has AMSETs, American citizens, and SIVs, which are special immigration visas that are granted to come to the U.S. Why don't we just fill up one plane and allow them to come in? And they said, well, no, we can't, because we won't know who's on the manifest sheet. I said, I will give you the passports and all the documentations of the SIVs to show who's on there. And they still wouldn't grant us the opportunity to leave.
Right. On top of all of this, Congressman, the worst part, and maybe it's not the worst part, but it's one of the parts, is that the State Department and the administration is actually trying to smear you. They're accusing you of showboating, and you probably wouldn't have had to do this if they had done their job, send in special forces, send in, the Navy SEALs, or better yet, gotten our Americans out before they closed and withdrew from this operation or from this country.
Yeah, how about use the plan that President Trump had, where we were going to close the Kabul airport a second to last and keep Bagram Airport
Right.
until last. That way we can still have air support and have military personnel present to make sure this didn't happen. How about just use that plan and instead of blaming it on everybody? For
Right.
me, I never wanted this to go public. We never went in there to try to go public. We wanted to be as quiet as possible. The Sentinel Foundation is non-political.
Yeah.
This isn't. They don't want publicity like this. And so when we started teaming up with them, we made a decision not to go public with any of it. But the State Department leaked a conversation that was completely misinterpreted that I had with another ambassador when I asked them,
Right.
who told you couldn't work with me? And they said, we can't. It came out of D.C. And I said, sir, either you tell me who told you or you're going to hear from me in a different capacity because we're going to have a hearing on this. And I'm going to find out eventually who told you not to work with us to get American citizens out. And he apologized profusely. It wasn't his fault. He was following
Right.
orders
He
from
was
the
under
State
pressure.
Department in Washington, D.C.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Congressman, we really appreciate it. It took an MMA fighter and a congressman to help this operation get through. We're grateful.
Hey.
And I'm
Wow.
Well, and then earlier this evening on, I think it was Newsmax, they were showing the clip where Biden was claiming that we would not leave as long as there were American citizens left in Afghanistan. We would not leave until everyone was evacuated.
Realize, everybody, that Biden is following the plan. He is. This is the plan. And they're just trying to get everybody to shut up so they can move on.
Well, what's remarkable to me is they have somehow or other been able to dial in the fact that they can say one thing, blatantly lie, go on and do something totally different in total public view of everybody, and nobody does shit about it. You have to blame mostly the media.
Yes.
The media is the one that could be raising all kinds of hell out there. So I would say maybe it's time we make the media suffer. And the only way you can make them suffer is drop every fricking subscription you have to any liberal outfit. I heard one person say, they like to watch CNN on occasion because it's always good to know what the enemy's doing.
Yeah.
That has some merit, but there's got to be some way we can start killing MSNBC, CNN, CBS, ABC, and maybe it's just starting to go after their sponsors.
That is key. And let me tell you, OG, the mainstream media and plus these cable media outlets like CNN, MSNBC, and all these others that are owned by these big tech giants. So they don't care if they're making money or not. They really don't. They've got so much money they don't give a damn. But really what's important for the people out there is to know there are programs like this that exist.
What you said may sound ludicrous,
Uh-huh.
but let me tell you, I'll go back to my stint in the corporate world.
Mm-hmm.
There was a period of time when I worked for Ameritech back in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And I was back there because they wanted management in place in Washington, D.C. that could deal with the politicians if they were called before committees, stuff like that. Because that was during a point in time when the communication companies, like the Bell communication companies, weren't allowed to also be in the alarm business.
Right.
And that's when there was a turnaround, and they wanted management in place that could sit before a committee. Now, I've told a long tale to get to a short point here.
Right.
Being back there, I was also managing a sales team. And we were told specifically by Ameritech, our guys used to get cash bonuses when they'd get money down on a contract, on an installation. We were told they were no longer allowed to get cash in advance. And I said, what the hell? And they said, no, we have, Ameritech has so much surplus cash, we don't want to bring in anymore. So, what you're saying, as ludicrous as it sounds, I have witnessed personally and up front with corporations that have so frickin' much money, they don't want any more cash coming in through the front door.
Yep. That's true. That's true. It's absolutely incredible, everybody. I mean, it's just, this is the fight we're going to have before the other fight we're going to have. And we'll be talking about that in a few minutes. But first, I want to talk about, speaking about selling items and products and stuff like that. Oregon's banning Texas products into their state. Or that's what they're going to attempt to do.
Yeah, they also want to ban travel to Texas.
Yeah. I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, I guess, they can switch to all electric cars and not take any oil or gas or anything else that we have, any other products that we have, and we make a lot of products here in Texas, and we're not shut down. We've got companies that are roaring if they can find people to work.
As a matter of fact, compared to the world economies, Texas ranks way up there.
Yeah.
I've heard anywhere from third to, I'm going to say at least we rank in the top 10 in the world for generating revenue as a state compared to countries.
Well, I mean, all these states that are throwing a fit about the Texas abortion law, the new law, and also the voting laws, we are a sovereign state. We are one of 50 sovereign states. If New York wants to kill babies, if New York wants to kill black babies, be my guest, if that's what they want to do. But we're not on that path here in Texas. So we've got new laws. If they don't like it, that's tough. If they don't want our products, more power to them. If they don't want to come to Texas, you don't know what you're missing. Because we're all packing. We'll send you back across the border. You come down here and act like a fool.
What you got to remember is, if you left the state that you were living in, because you couldn't stand the politics,
right?
Unless you voted conservative all the time, you're very welcome to continue to vote that way here. But if you weren't voting conservative and you were voting for those dumb shits that turned your state sour and bankrupted everything, for God's sakes, don't vote the same way when you come to Texas. Change your ways.
Yeah, but we're going to be talking here in a minute. When you think things have calmed down up there in the Northwest, well, guess what?
Nope.
It hasn't. It hasn't. The lunatics are still out, everybody. But there are people that are fighting them. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens and what goes. But let me say this. Patriots and militias, they're surging. There's more and more people joining militias. They're growing because a lot of people think all of this is going to end up bad. This is going to end up bad. Gun sales are up, OG. They're up higher than ever.
Well, and I also just read some good news. You know, Remington was going bankrupt.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, they had a major ammunition facility in Arkansas that was about to be shut down. It was put up for auction. Now, those people in that Arkansas city had worked for Remington in that factory for generations.
Yeah.
So they were pretty much down in the mouth. However, a major company was successful in purchasing the Remington facility. It is open for business. They are dedicated to producing ammunition, and they are pushing balls to the wall to manufacture as much ammunition as they can. So hopefully we'll see an uptick in ammunition on the shelves, but with all the gun sales that are going on, it's going to be tough to keep up with that.
Yeah. So, and, well, let's, let me see what I want to do here. Okay, which one is this? Oh, this is kind of interesting. This is kind of interesting. Here we go. We're going to switch the cube again. And watch what happens here. Here we go. Actually, let me make sure the audio is on. It wasn't. It is now. Here we go. Watch this, everybody.
No, the president did receive a warm welcome when he first landed in Manville, New Jersey. He was touring the streets, as you mentioned, after Hurricane Ida ravaged the town. There is garbage strewn all around the streets as they toured homes that had been destroyed. But it was the hecklers that really dominated the coverage. Now, what we've seen is a number of neighbours come out and yell at the president over what they said was their perception of his handling of Afghanistan.
Leave them in ruins and leave Americans behind. Leave Americans behind. He will leave you behind. You guys protecting him. He'll leave you guys behind. That's right. Ronald Wildrick buried in Arlington, 2011, December 11th. For what? He lost his life for what?
So those people were yelling at Biden, and you've got another thing you want to tell us about that happened at a football game.
Oh yeah, they've been talking about it on conservative talk shows all day. Big football game. I can't remember the name of the college.
Okay.
But it was a big game.
Major game.
And they're all chanting "Fuck Joe Biden." All the college students. They're pissed off, had enough, don't want to hear any more about vaccination, about booster shots, about mutations. They've had it. They want to get on with life.
Didn't want to hear about the mask or any of that?
No, none of that crap. And you know what makes a lot of sense here is you're looking at a group of people, a group of human beings that are young and healthy. And the statistics have now been out for some time that you have a 99.9% chance of not dying if you contract the disease.
Oh, yeah.
So you got the young and healthy saying, what the hell are we doing here? We got our whole lives ahead of us. We are not going to live in a cave with our head between our legs for the rest of our life.
Exactly.
So it's fuck Joe Biden.
They've been pinned up,
Yeah.
so pinned up and so ruled by everybody. They're just tired of hearing it. But you know what, OG? The whole nation is like that. Except for maybe California, Michigan, New York, the usual places that are out there trying to have their way with people. And even Missouri.
Yep.
The list runs on and on, everybody. So, yeah. So, everybody's sick of it. And everybody is especially sick and tired of being lied to. Whether it be by Biden, whether it be by his staff, whether it be by the military, whether it be by the media. Lie after lie after lie. And I don't know when it became fashionable to be liars. That's the truth. OG dove for the mouse.
Yeah, and now I'm trying to get it over to this side.
Yeah. Gotta swing it.
There we go.
Yeah. He made it where Forrest's comment would be seen.
Yes.
Just that.
Now, again, what they're blatantly saying in the public, I mean, they got to think everyone's stupid.
Really.
Yeah, which is nothing new. I mean, they've thought we were stupid for some time.
And you know what? They bank on us forgetting.
Oh, yeah.
Just
yeah.
moving on to the next thing.
Well, there's and God help us, it's true. If it happens today, 6 weeks from now, the public will have forgotten about it.
We cannot
They
let
move on.
this be forgotten, any of it.
But
whether it be the COVID,
Yeah.
whether it be Afghanistan, we cannot let this go. Period.
But
Period.
he keeps saying, whenever Biden comes on, he keeps saying he upheld his campaign promise to get us out of Afghanistan. Well, Trump was going to get us out of Afghanistan. Everybody agrees we needed to get the hell out of Afghanistan. I don't think anybody was disappointed that we were leaving. The issue is, and what he won't address, is how badly he screwed it up.
Yeah.
And, everybody that's got two sticks to rub together is trying to figure out what the hell is the real deal here. I mean, all those weapons left behind. China will now have the lithium deal in Afghanistan. All kinds of stuff going on. So who got paid off? Who's back dealing through the back door? Something's not right here. I mean, it's so blatantly stupid, it had to have been planned.
And
nobody can be that stupid.
How much are we paying? And I'd like to know any money that's been spent to pay ransom or anything else to the Taliban. Anything.
Oh, you'll probably never hear that publicly.
No. Not unless we make a change, everybody. Listen to me. We've got to make a change in about 14 months. We've got to make a change. We've got to fix these elections where they can't be rigged. They're already trying to do it in California. You've seen the news, the video on that, where they found ballots and everything else in some guy's car, 300 ballots, and another person had some. I mean, the list is going to run on and on ways to cheat. And we can't allow it to happen. There needs to be stiff penalties for that, even in California. Even in Philadelphia, even in New York. The list runs on and on. But OG, now we've got, let me see. And here we go, everybody. Here we go. We're going into dangerous territory. We're talking about the Mew now. Yep, the Mew. You know, there's a new strain called the MU, MU, and they're out there, they're screaming and yelling, trying to scare everybody to death. Everybody to death. Talking about the MU, how contagious it is, worse than the Delta virus. That's what they're saying. Worse than the Delta virus.
They'll promote the hell out of it.
Yeah, they will. But there are things that are going on, and I guess we'll jump out of sequence here because I jumped to the MU. I couldn't wait.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait. Everybody, the MU. Let me show you something here, and we don't have to turn the sound off for this, OG. Let me show you something here. We're going to switch the screen right here. This is Texas. This is coming from the CDC. You hear that, YouTube? You hear that? This is directly from the CDC. This is their numbers, not ours. Not ours. Now you see there a 7-day average, that's 5,000, almost 6,000 new cases of the coronavirus. Now, and this other deal right down here, the 1,139, that's probable cases. That means they don't know, they're guessing. I don't know why in the hell they throw that in there. But as you see, in the last 7 days, we've had 128 deaths. Now what I did, everybody, as I looked at this, and of course here's a chart here that shows the 7-day average, new confirmed cases, and we see it spiked up there toward the September. So, but I'm not concerned about how many cases there are. They keep whining about that. They keep whining about that. They want to tell you how many jabs they've given. They want to tell you about that, but they don't really want to talk very much about the reported fatalities from COVID. How many people are there in Texas, OG?
Well, like 28 million?
Yeah, 29.
29.
29 million in Texas. Now, I went back and checked. As a matter of fact is I went back as far as 2014, before the China virus. There's 180 to 200,000 Texas residents that die each year.
Whether they want to or not.
That's right. This was prior to COVID.
Yep.
And in Houston alone, their average is about 2,000 deaths a month. What I'm getting the point of the point I'm trying to make is the numbers don't match to the panic. They don't match. We have way more people that die of natural causes, of accidents, and whatever else than 128 a week. You add that over, 52 weeks for the year, that number is really pretty low.
Yep.
This virus, even I think the mu that they say is more contagious, they don't have any proof that it is. And they're now saying it's in all 48 states. Well, wait a minute. It was in Africa a week ago. Now it's in all 48 states. That's a traveling son of a gun, man. But now, if YouTube wants to yell about it, they need to complain to the CDC because they don't mention it. There's no place in this CDC dashboard that I went to that said anything about the mu virus. Nothing. So if you got some different information, YouTube, tell the CDC what your data is, your proof. Tell them. Tell us. You can send us a letter, or you'd just rather give us a strike. And to that, I'm like the students in the football game.
Well, you know,
Fuck you.
talking about the moo or mew, whatever the hell they call it, you know, and the vaccinations a whole bit. I was also listening to a discussion where they've now talked about perhaps the 2-shot vaccinations were not scheduled appropriately in the beginning and should have been like 6 months apart instead of 2 and 3, with 2 weeks for the Moderna, I think, and 3 weeks for the Pfizer. And they're saying now they probably should, shot 1 and shot 2 should have been about 6 months apart. And it would have been more effective. They're saying shot 1 and shot 2, that close together equaled 1 shot.
Yeah.
And that's why they're talking about the booster 6 months after.
Okay, now here's what I heard from a doctor the other day. This will probably do it, everybody.
Yeah.
It's been nice knowing you. But there are so many doses of the original vaccine out there. You know, and they're touting the new vaccine. If you go get the jab, you're not getting anything new.
You're getting first in, first out. FIFO.
You're getting the original.
Yeah.
There are so many doses out there that have not been used. They've got to get rid of it. They've got to get rid of it. Just saying, everybody. Just saying. YouTube don't like that. Screw them. I mean, you know. But let me show you something interesting, OG. I looked at this the other day, and we don't have to. We can just comment on this. You know, we thought that Venice Beach was bad with the homeless people and the drugs. We thought San Francisco was bad. You saw on the Ingram angle where she's been in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we may have some guys here from the Philly area that's on our chat line. But I thought this was kind of interesting. So I'm going to show you this here. I don't think I need to add the sound. I think we can comment as it goes on here. But let's watch this, everybody. I think this is called the Kingston area. And now they've supposedly cleaned this area up. And look at this. These people, some of them are just stuck in time. They stop on the sidewalk right where they're at. And they're just frozen. This is incredible. Now, we have some of this in Dallas and Fort Worth. I don't think it's this bad, but maybe I'm missing it, and maybe we ought to go look.
Well, here lately, I have been all over Dallas.
Yeah.
And I have not seen anything like that on the street.
Generally, what happens when they move them here, they scatter to some other part of town. Really not too far away. But you'll see one or two here in a minute. I'm going to post this whole video at TexasBikerRadio.org because it's about 30-something minutes long. This guy right here shooting up right there.
Yep.
That one's froze. This is incredible. And of course, there's a police car. I mean, OG, how does anybody do business there? How does anybody do business?
They don't.
Look at this lady. This guy over here hanging on the pole.
And here we are bringing all this trash across the border.
Exactly.
Flying them in now.
This is what these cartels are doing to our country. Look at that when they're on the sidewalk.
And we can't even take care of our own.
No.
We have
and
to,
we bring in hundreds of thousands of people into the country. And, you know, it's clear these people need help.
Well,
if they want it.
Biden has allowed millions
Look at this.
across the border.
This is what they do. They bend over and they just stay like that. Now, I don't know what kind of drugs it is that caused that. I'm kind of naive about it. But, wow. I mean, the trash, she's froze. They just stop in their tracks. Or they bend over like this one here. It is sad. It's incredible. Now, they supposedly clean this place up.
Well, as much heroin and fentanyl's coming across the border. That's what I'd have to guess that is.
Yeah. This is going on all across the country. Some places it's worse than others. But I was kind of surprised about that. But like I said, that's Philadelphia. And Floyd, is that what it is? It's heroin that does that? It kind of freezes them in place? It's unbelievable, everybody. But I got a couple more things I want to show you. I think just because I thought it was interesting today. You remember the Antifa teacher?
Yes.
This is a school board meeting. This is a school board meeting where they started to speak out. You ready for this? We're going to turn our mics down. Here we go, everybody.
The first time my daughter tells me, and she goes against my wishes, to come out of a classroom that's disruptive to her well-being, I have an issue.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I am very articulate. My children are very well read. They speak their opinion. They make sure that they are clear in what they do and do not like. And for the fact that my daughter tells me, had to come to me and said, "Mom, you don't understand. Let me explain." This means that in 2 weeks, in 13 days, he was allowed to change my daughter's mind about some fascist crap that y'all have led in this school. I'm from Texas. This does not go on in Texas. They're 2 grades higher than California, period. So to think that my very sound-minded daughter would go against me and my wishes and our values in our home to be able to go and support this man, and he's putting her in harm's way. What the hell are y'all doing? How long does it have to go on before somebody says something?
Yes.
How long? How long? What are you going to do? That's the question. Get him out of here. We don't fucking care about this boy.
Wow. Did y'all notice that school board member raised that piece of paper she had up so nobody could see her face? But this is the kind of stuff that is going on all across the country, in school boards all across the country, and it needs to continue. The parents need to speak up. The parents need to take control of the classrooms and get these filthy son of a guns out of there. Now that video clip came from Jeff Mack. We have to give him credit. That's Jeff Mack. He started out doing the riots between Antifa and all those groups, all the protests and stuff that were going on in Seattle and Washington. And Oregon. All the riots that were going on up there. But you thought everything had quietened down up there. You better think again. Because I'm fixing to show you a video clip of what's been going on just in the last 2 weeks. Are you ready for this one, OG? Let's see. I don't think I need. Well, I don't know. Let's do the audio anyway. And here we go.
The Proud Boys crush far-left Antifa agitators in Portland. In this attempted to plow into the crowd, but was stopped short, crashing into a curbside outside of the gathering. And that is when both sides began to clash.
Beat her ass! Beat her ass! Beat her ass! Hey! Come on, bitch! Fucking go! Oh, shit. That one got me good. Hey, you good? Yeah, we got the best job in America, bro. Come on. God damn, that was a good one.
What you were hearing there at the last was, I guess, a weapons grade fireworks. Is what you would call that. But OG, in the last couple of weeks, they've started using real bullets.
Yeah.
And let me say this. Once that starts, there ain't no going back. It'll escalate. And what's happening up there? The police are doing nothing. They're just letting them have at it. And what's the mayor saying? He said, let's all love each other. So the mayor wants a love-in between Antifa and the Proud Boys. I don't think that's going to happen. And in Oregon, they've got militias out the wazoo. They hate law enforcement. They hate everybody. But I think it's kind of interesting. And they say this may look like what a civil war looks like in the beginning. And once they go down that slippery slope, it may spiral out of control. I don't know any words for it, but are we headed that direction with everything that's going on with the left trying to force all this crap on us? Is there any choice, since the military is not going to take action, since the courts are not going to take action, and we continue to slip down this slippery slope? Is there no other option at some point where we got to say, hey, we're parting companies with everybody? Let the liberal states go the way they want to go, and by God, we'll go our way. But now we've already tried that once. It caused a civil war. So I don't know where we're headed, everybody. And now with Afghanistan on the loose, maybe at some point, it may not be anytime soon, because they say that the Taliban does actually want recognition on the world stage.
Well, they need money.
They do need money.
They need money. But I was going to say, when you were talking about sovereign states and civil war, things like that, it is supposed to work where if a state wants to be liberal, they can be liberal, and if a state wants to be conservative, they can be conservative.
Right.
That's all supposed to work. The reason it doesn't work is because the liberals can't stand the conservatives living their own way.
Yes.
The liberals have a need to force their beliefs and their way of life on everybody.
Everybody.
And therein lies the problem. That's why we may have to have a parting of the ways.
Yeah.
Because we can't coexist with lunatics that want to force their way of life down our throats.
Right.
And that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what Biden and crew are doing.
That's, it's obvious that the parents don't want the liberal agenda forced down their children's throat. They don't want them indoctrinated. We don't want all of these socialist programs. And it's like we pointed out again and again that Biden is following the plan. He is following the Cloward and Piven's plan of collapsing the country. That's exactly what's going on. You couldn't plan it any different than what he's doing. And he doesn't give a damn. He has no empathy toward other human beings. And that's a fact.
On top of which, I honestly believe he has very few working brain cells anymore.
I do believe that too. He knows enough to turn away when people are yelling at him.
Yeah, and watch how he walks.
Yeah.
His brain isn't even functioning well enough for him to walk properly when he walks away.
Yeah.
He walks like a stick man.
Yeah. OG, and let me say one thing before we go here. I want to say to YouTube, we are not discouraging anyone from getting the shot. We are not. But we do think it's a personal choice. And we do believe that the numbers do not, as we explained tonight, the numbers do not match that of a pandemic. They do not. I don't care how many cases they throw out there. There's just not that many people dying from it. And especially in the age group of the kids. Especially in that group.
Well, they can't even seem to hold to the same story for any amount
of
time.
They can't. And that's the other thing, YouTube, is Dr. Fauci has hosed everything up by giving us misinformation again and again and again. And of course, they can always say, we don't know. We don't know enough. We don't know. Well, hell, why doesn't somebody find out?
And if they don't know, why the hell should we be following them?
Exactly. Exactly. Your health is your personal choice. But now they're trying to say that abortions, how is it they say that, OG? My body?
My body, my choice.
My body, my choice. You know what? That works for COVID too. If you're going to get out there and say that bullshit, you can't have it both ways. You can't. And for everybody that's out there that wants to live their lives and have their children be normal and do the things you love, like we get out there and ride our motorcycles. We have been, over the months, OG, we've been around hundreds of people, if not thousands.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. We've been from Arizona, New Mexico. I mean, we've been all over Texas, and including having cancer along the way. You and I both.
Absolutely.
So we're not going to cower in a corner and say, oh, woe is me that I might get sick. That's the truth of it. You've got to live your life, and you can't have government living it for you. Now, from what I understand, all the stimulus money for the unemployment, it's going away. It went away. Matter of fact, Biden didn't even try and renew it.
Thank God.
Yeah. So maybe some people will go back to work. I suggest if you have any of that money left, that you save it. You're going to need it, because inflation's heading our way, baby. It's heading our way if we continue on the path we're on, led by lunatics. And I know tonight has been mostly politics, but that's who we are. We're a political motorcycle club. This is what we do. The Constitution is what we're all about. And so much of this stuff that we're seeing is unconstitutional. And we're sick of it. We are sick of it. Got anything in closing?
Nope, I think we pretty well covered it tonight.
Anybody? Oh, let's say hi to a few people. There's Floyd Reschers.
Oh, I do want to thank some of the people out there that have donated some money for this rally that we're going to have down in Milam County.
Yeah.
We have received a few contributions, and if any of the rest of you can afford the price of a beer, go to TexasBikerRadio.org. There's a donate button there. The money that's donated goes for these newspaper ads that we're running and helps pay to keep this going too.
Yeah, and we're not on every night. I mean, this is on our dime. We're not here trying to sell you hearing aids or any of that kind of stuff, or some vitamins and that, or Liberty Water or any of that kind of stuff. Oh, by the way, the frogs are back on the YouTube. Yeah. And so we're not trying to do any of that. But when we do want a rally like this, we do have expenses because we buy ads, and we also boost on Facebook. And the reason we do that is because politicians and their campaign managers do it. They use it and they're successful with it. So this is the kind of thing we can do. We can actually target Milam County and 50 miles to 100 miles around it. And so we can saturate that area with our videos and the stuff we post. it's really pretty cool to be able to do that. So it does cost money. It does cost money. And but you know, I mean, we do have T-shirts and stuff you can buy at TexasBikerRadio.org if you care to look. And you might want a support shirt or something like that. And the women love those tank tops.
Yeah, they do.
We're selling those like crazy. Yeah. With that, everybody. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, we were going to say hi to some people. How about that? Let's go back to the top. Golly. We had some pretty good visitors tonight. You know, I saw Jamon Rooney. I saw him the other night on the round table. Mm-hmm. The Black Dragon round table. Hey, Randy Russell, Lisa Lee, Mater's Workshop, and Shannon, how are you doing? Brain Damage, there he is. I saw him today. He was helping us. And let me see, am I going down here?
We got Napa.
Napa's there. Napa, I need to talk to you tomorrow, bud. Give me a call about 10 o'clock or whatever. Give me a call. And so, Jerry, how are you doing? Yeah. Like I said, there's Jamon. I don't know if I said Randy Russell or not. Lose Your Life. New Mexico. Yeah. I think I've got just about everybody. You guys have been having a good time chatting. This thing is long now. Yeah. Forrest. Yeah. I think I did mention him. Hey, you guys. If anything screwball comes up, which that is capable every day as we go forward, we'll be back on quick. With that, everybody, have a great evening and enjoy your week. Good night.
Good night.